Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Wednesday, May 31st, 2017. As is the case with every Wednesday night, I'll be on Truth Frequency Radio. If you never listened before, it's a caller-friendly program. You want to call in for the first time, the number is 213-233-3998. Again, 213-233-3998. Should be taking your calls this evening. Also, just a reminder, the show begins every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, 9 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. It's a 3-hour program, 6 to 9 out west, 9 p.m. to midnight out east. You know where you are in between. We'll be talking about all this week's headlines, the news today as it comes in, always breaking down the propaganda and exposing what's what in the world. Also, since putting up the videos that I put up today, trying to catch up with this past weekend, I was busy the last few days. Anyhow, a lot of people have asked me about the attacks in Afghanistan this morning. Isn't it amazing how we get these frequent headlines, and they've gone on for the last 15 plus years, of these terror attacks in the Middle East, and the numbers of casualties are always huge, between 20 and 100 plus people so often. And, for the most part, here in the United States, Western world, people don't even blink an eyelash at those headlines. But at the same time, you could get a story about 9 dead in Paris or whatever. And, man, that's the story for the week. 80 dead in Afghanistan. It just passes by at the bottom of the headline. Everyone shrugs their shoulders. This is all part of the conditioning and programming and teaching you who's important and who to care about and where doesn't matter. People don't understand this, but they should. I mean, look at what the United States of America does. It bombs every brown nation of the world. It terrorizes every brown nation of the world. But when white people die, major tragedy. Could be 3 dead people in Belgium. Huge story. 80 dead in Afghanistan. Almost no one talks about it. And it's the same for when I put out these videos. Whenever I cover these types of stories, almost no one cares or watches. So the conditioning is deep, even for the people who think they're seeking truth. But this morning when I woke up, they were reporting 80 dead, and I'm sure the number will change a million times. But whenever they update these numbers, they're for a reason. The word tragedy, using the alphabetic order, sums to 80. So does Bavarian Illuminati, established May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. Notice Bavarian Illuminati has the same gematria as Scottish Rite. Again, it's very clear who the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is, who the Bavarian Illuminati are at the top. They're the people running this world, coding their numbers over all of it, from the date they were established up to the present. And even really it was going on before that, but it seems that at that point, enough power players in the world came together to start what we now know as the New World Order agenda, which you could say began May 1st, 1776, or really even before that if you wanted. But anyhow, 80 dead, number of tragedy, number of the Bavarian Illuminati. Some other things I noticed, Kabul, Afghanistan has this Gematria 57. We just talked about this in regards to Scottish Rite. And again, New World Order, an old world order that's had its hands all over the Middle East and this entire world for a long time. All of these nations carved up and named what they are, it's all been done by this gang. Freemasonry, Scottish Rite, it crosses all ethnicities, all religions. And at the top, puppeteering all these people that participate in this secret society are these Zionist Jew banker tyrants that are the masters of doing things by the numbers. This is their practice. This is Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. But if you read about it, you'll learn that all the religions have been studying Kabbalah. Again, Judaism, the oldest religion in the world. Religion, governments, money, they're all instruments of control. And they're all controlled by this same gang. If you've never seen my work on the Bavarian Illuminati on the US dollar bill, you better check that out. Undeniable. Kabul, Afghanistan also has Gematria of 96 in addition to 57. The word Freemason 96, very significant to the gang. Kabul, Afghanistan also 147, number we're talking about all the time, Freemason and conspiracy. And just in case you're new here and you're going, wait, all these numbers are related to Freemason? Yeah, these are the numbers that they quote again and again. And they love 33 and 42 and 74. But it's these over and over and over. How much have we been talking about 147 in May? You know, every single day. Kabul itself, where the bomb went off. Today's bomb went off in Kabul, Afghanistan, in case you missed that. 47, just like the degrees on the Freemason compass, set 47 degrees apart. And Kabul, Gematria of 88, very significant number representing time. That's what we're living out. Endless loops of the same types of stories, the same type of reporting to keep us in this constant mindset that we need Big Brother to keep us safe from the terrorist boogeyman, the Zika virus, the latest flu, just nonstop. It's constant fear to remind you that you need someone to take care of you. You need someone to keep you safe, you know? So we'll be talking about this more. I'll do some more research on this. I haven't looked too much into it. I didn't look at, they said it was by the embassies. I mean, what else is new? By the embassies, where all the nations are represented, where all the New World Order puppets are employed. Again, when these bombs go off, it's your own government all across the world. Also today in the headlines, Donald Trump supposedly going to reverse the Paris Climate Accords. Understand, all of this is theater. They're talking about how the U.S. will join only 2 other nations in the world that are not a part of this. It's just... Look at this. The whole climate change thing. See, this is what I hate about this debate. So many people say climate change is fake, and then they go back to drinking their soda pops and eating their munchie bags and throwing all this garbage away. People need to realize that we're destroying the world with pollution. I mean, we really are destroying the world. The oceans have a huge landmass of garbage in the middle of them. You know, I mean, do you need to know anymore? Just all throughout this world, full of landfills and junk and stuff people never needed in the first place. Because we've gone to this insane world structure of profit over people, common sense out the door in the name of profit. We used to be a society of people who grew food. You know, we learned from our family, from our elders, from our village. And you know, we went out into our community and people knew who we were. We knew our neighbors because we all lived together, worked together, grew food together. You know, life used to be based on common sense and reality and taking care of your community. But all these things are out the door in the world we grew up in. Because in this world, it's all about, do you have dollars in your pocket? If you do, then you can pay for the rent and go buy stuff at the grocery store. I mean, almost nobody grows their food anymore. There's hardly any farmers left. It's all big corporate farms and giant machines and chemicals and pesticides. We're deep in this game. And all of the news is about programming us to just go along with this insane agenda. And the whole climate change is a distraction from the reality of what our choices in this world have done to the earth. The way we farm has destroyed all the topsoil. They say, you know, they can't even grow quality produce anymore, really, because all the nutrients and everything have been stripped out of the ground. Read about it. I mean, this is real information, real knowledge, and it's proven. I mean, there's a lot of things that are wrong with this world that we're living in, from the information we get to the food, and the knowledge is out there if you want to seek it. You know, way before I started teaching about Gematria, I was just stacking knowledge, reading, getting as much information about as many things as I possibly could. Then finally, one day I learned something I could teach the world, you know? But anyway, climate change. I just want you to think about it. CC, like 33, the number of masonry. And this is the United Nations that's really, you know, coined this term and made this popular throughout the world. United Nations, by the way, 57, like Scottish Rite. Watch this. United Nations. Same thing as Scottish Rite, almost across the board. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 3 out of the 4. But anyway, Masonry, Scottish Rite, obsessed with 33. Think about what climate change is based on. CO2, 2 O's. O's the 15th letter, so COO. 3 plus 15 plus 15. Hopefully you can do that math. If not, less TV, more practice. 33. 33. And you want to know numbers in this world. This whole world's numbers. You go to the store, you want to see if you're getting ripped off, you got to know the numbers. You know, you got $100 to spend, you want to figure out the smartest way to spend it, you got to know numbers. I used to hustle kids in kindergarten who had money. Or not in kindergarten, sorry, but in elementary school. You know, kids with money, they'd pay $5 for a slice of pizza if you could bring it to the store. Some people are just horrible with money, you know. I realized how much you could make just by buying a pizza yourself with some allowance money and bringing slices to school. You sell 3 slices, you paid for the whole pizza plus more. Anyway, CO2 33, climate change, CC 33, the whole history of the United Nations full of 33. That's just all this whole world is putting 33 in front of your face and distracting you with some bullshit and never thinking it through. So anyway, you never listened to my radio show before. I usually break down the headlines and give people things to think about. What's really going on in this world. You know, all the bombings reported in Afghanistan the last 15 years and all the plus 100 casualties, I mean, you would think almost everyone in that city was dead. So something doesn't make sense. And understand, all throughout the world, the same types of false flags achieved. Sometimes people really get hurt, though. Don't listen to any of these channels who always say, oh, nobody ever gets hurt, no war ever happened. That's bullshit. And then just more NASA stuff. I'm sure if I wanted to come over here and look into NASA's mission to touch the sun, I'm sure there's something great there. If you missed my recent work on NASA's 666 days in space and how NASA, the full name in Gematria, sums to 666, check that out. Everyone needs to know that information. But also just this headline, Truth Seeker, 223 coded right into it, number of Masonry, you know. It's all a show. Donald Trump became a TV celebrity in 1984, 33 years before becoming the president. Federal 33, Masonry 33, Secrecy 33. If you missed all my work on the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry headquarters being in Washington, D.C. and what it had to do with Trump's selection, check it out. We'll probably talk about it again tonight on the show. Down in the description, I'll link the show where you can listen. I'll give you this link. You just come to the top, click Listen Live. Also, what I recommend doing if you're sitting in front of a computer, when you listen, you can just go to chat room too. That'll play the show live, but you'll also be in the chat room. And what's really cool is a lot of people who are listening, they're starting to make memes, and then they're posting their memes in the forum. And you can just copy and paste those, save those yourself, and share them on social media. So as I'm talking about things, people are sharing things based on, you know, the exact work I'm talking about. Because I have enough people following me now that these things are happening. So if you want to get in the chat room, usually good things going on there. And, you know, some people are also calling out the shills, and not even shills for Truth Frequency Radio, but, you know, you don't have to call out the shills during the show. There's other things going on in the world. You know, the shills that we figured out who don't even really have much audiences. Let's not spend all our time obsessing about them when, you know, the real tyrants at the top are who we need to be fighting. The shills need to be called out on occasion, but it doesn't need to become your daily life. So the people who are leaving those posts, they know who they are, and really, I mean, you guys need to think about it. Shills exist. We can't stand the shills. We call them out enough, but the shills, they're hardly anything. They're, you know, they're a candle against the sun in terms of who we need to be exposing. So, all right, Truth Seeker. Also down below, I'll link the Gematrinator calculator, and I'll also link my Truth Frequency website page where you can listen to my archived episodes if you've never listened before. You can always listen for free up to 10 days after the show. I'll just show you this too real quick. From this link, if you just write /Zachary Hubbard, it'll take you to my page. And you can always listen for free to the archived episode up to 10 days after it airs. If you want to listen to episodes older than that, you have to sign up. And just so you know, when you sign up at a person's page on Truth Frequency Radio, like if you wanted to support me, if you signed up here, whatever half of your subscription fee is, it goes to me. The other half goes to truthfrequencyradio.com. And just so you know, I mean, I hardly make anything from this. There's not that many subscribers. Out of all of the, I've done this in September it'll be a year. The most I've ever made in a month is $110. So that means in 1 month, $220 were put towards the radio station. 110 went to Truth Frequency, 110 went to me. I've had a couple months where it was like $15 to $20, so that means there were $30 or $40 worth of subscriptions. But anyway, just understand, this isn't about money. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to get the word out more. But for anyone who'd like to support the station and myself, you could sign up at my page, or if you have another show that you like more, sign up at their page, and then they'll get half the donation. So, just an option. If you want to listen to all the archived episodes, you got to be a paid-for member. But again, free to listen to live, free to call into, and free to listen to the archived episode up to 10 days after, you know. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time. Corps had one last thought about the bombing in Afghanistan today. Again, Kabul sums to 47, very special number to Freemasonry and the relationship with the sun and the earth and the tropics. See my work on the Bible, the tropics, and the Freemason compass. Anyhow, the word Christian also has Gematria 47. And today, May 31st, coming in the time of Ramadan, the Muslim holy period, with regards to today being the 151st day of the year, Jesus Christ equals 151. And as we know, a lot of this terrorism sponsored by the New World Order is about pitting the Christians against the Muslims, as it has been, you know, all throughout recorded history. Again, it goes back deep to the Catholic Church, the Crusades. Within the Catholic Church are the Jesuits, the Masonic order within the church. But Kabul, 47 like Christian, 151st day of the year, Jesus Christ equals 151. Christianity, ritual in numbers, time of Ramadan. Let's not forget that, by the way, Ramadan is 47 as well, just like Christian. We were talking about this in the Oregon story. The hateful, whatever they're calling in person, that was yelling a lot of Muslim slurs, and his last name was Christian. It happened on the first day of Ramadan. If you missed my video on all of the Ramadan, on false flag terror, May 26th, the first day of it, go back and check it out. All right, until next time.